and welcome into episode 5 of For What It's Worth. I got Erik, Bryan, and Tyrone here, the usuals. And guys, I feel like it's been a while since we've last talked, but how's everyone doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing pretty good. Went to the Drake concert last night, so I'm soaking in that greatness. Just waking up with a smile on my face. Did that.
That's good.
Played some 2K, rebuilt the Warriors. That's about my day.
What was your favorite performance from the Drake concert? Like favorite song that he did?
Actually, the funny part is J. Cole had it rocking. Drake did his thing.
Oh,
J.
really?
Cole was. I was like, okay, J. Cole, I want to go to like a personal show of yours. He was going crazy.
Okay. Oh, wow. I mean, we know the greatness of J. Cole, but I didn't know he was gonna
He gained some
almost
respect.
outdo Drake at his own concert. So.
No, for real. I'm like, okay, no. As big as the what?
Yeah, okay, man. Maybe I need to go back and listen to some J. Cole. Erik, how was your day?
It was great. I'm just ready for spring break. It's right around the corner. Nice little break. Golf trip.
Oh yeah. Wait, golfing trip to where?
Going to my lake house, but it's me, Bryan, and our other two buddies from high school.
Okay, all right, little getaway.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun. And how about you, Bryan? How was your day?
Good. Nice relaxing day. Started my 7-week class today, so I had to do a few assignments in there. But other than that, it's been a good Monday.
Yeah, you guys are getting close to the end of the road for just college careers in general.
Mm-hmm.
You guys getting excited, sad, nervous?
Don't cry.
So excited.
All of it, honestly.
So excited. All of it. Good.
For the schoolwork to be done for sure, but
yeah.
it's a lot of fun up here. So.
It is. It's a good time, but we won't get too emotional. We'll save all that for a later date. We talked a lot of NFL in the past couple episodes. Now we're going to NBA. We got Eastern, Western Conference that we want to talk about, mostly just the teams that are at the top of each conference. I'm going to leave it up to you. Let's take a majority vote here. Do you guys want to start with the OKC Thunder, or do you guys want to start with the Boston Celtics?
Celtics.
Whatever Ty wants.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, whatever. All right. Hey, whatever Tyrone wants. All right, so let's start then with the team that's atop the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics. Once again, they're making some noise, all right? And I talked about this in the quick take segment, but we are now going to go more in depth, and I'm glad that I have these three gentlemen here to also go in depth with me here. But as I mentioned, 48-12 through 60 games, at least when this was recorded. And that was the same as the 07-08 champions. I brought that up in the last video. And they won 140-88 over Golden State. And this was a Golden State team that kind of, people were saying we're finding the rhythm again, or we're going to be a dark horse come playoff time. And the Celtics just absolutely put the smack on them. They're on an 11-game winning streak. And I'll get to you guys here in a second. Here are just some numbers I wanted to bring up in that 11-game winning streak. They have won games by as much as 40, 50, 28, 52, and in those 11 games, a plus 243 point differential. Just absolutely insane. Tyrone, are the Boston Celtics your favorite out of the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I would say I would lock them into the finals right now. The Boston Celtics, they reached another level. This is a team that's like, this isn't like a new team. This team is due for its win. They've been there before. They have experience. They're not young. And I really think that JT, like, when are we going to put respect on JT name? Because he's really one of the ones. Like, I think I said this in the group chat earlier. Outside of anybody under the age of 25, why would I pick them over JT? I don't know why. He's leading this great team. He's been there. He's done it before. He's been to all these stages. He played the Warriors in the finals. He lost, but look at him now. They're beating them down.
Yeah. And Erik, I'll get to you here in a second. I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to save this for later, but I'm going to pull it out of the bag right now because I think it is time for Tatum to prove he's one of the elites. And what I mean by that is Curry and Giannis, they had a ring at 26. LeBron, Jordan, Jokic, they followed at 27. And Tatum's now at 26. He has a really good team around him, which we'll get more into here of the pieces they've added. But that's what I'm saying is if Tatum wants to prove he's one of the elites, it's now or in the next year. Otherwise, he just didn't get there quite as fast as some of these other greats. Erik, Celtics, your favorite out of the East?
It's hard not to like them, but I'm a big advocate for teams doing absolutely extraordinary in the regular season, no, regardless of sport. Just the best regular season team very rarely goes on to, win their respective championship, Super Bowl, whatever it may be. So, I mean, they're obviously great. They're playing great, so everyone's going to be hyping them up, but I don't know what it is, but I think they just overexert themselves. Whatever the reason is, it always works out that way.
And that just seems to that just seems to be a theme in basketball, and I agree with you. It's these teams that really don't, and I even saw it at the high school level here locally of where I'm at. You had this team, 16-game winning streak, couldn't be stopped, and you get to where the pressure gets on, you kind of crumble a little bit. Streaks have to end at some point. It's hard to just continuously win and win into the postseason. That is kind of scary. Bryan, Celtics, your favorite two out of the East?
Yeah, like Erik said, it's kind of tough not to root for the Celtics. I mean, the gap between them and the Bucks at 2 is already 7 games as it is. I love Giannis. I'm a huge fan of him. Even better, it's even bigger now. It's 8. But, I like the Bucks a lot, but, they can't compete with the Celtics. Like you've talked about earlier, you don't like Doc Rivers at all, and he's already showing that signing wasn't a very good call. But the Celtics, I think, are just stacked overall. You got Porzingis, you got Jrue Holiday, you still have Derek White. I mean, they have plenty of depth there, and they have plenty of stars around him who can do everything on and off the court. So I think the Celtics are just the clear favorites in the East.
And like Tyrone said earlier, this is a team that they're not, like you said, they're not brand new. They've been close the past 2 years. They've been to the finals, and then they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals. At some point that has to break. It's not like the Cowboys here. Like, you could compare them, I guess, maybe a little bit, but the Celtics have at least been really close, where the Cowboys haven't. And then, Bryan, you brought up, Derek White, Jrue Holiday, Porzingis, Tatum. They're all sharp shooters. This team from 3-point land is unreal. They all shoot at least 40% spot up 3-point. Your big man Porzingis, he shoots 38.8% spot up 3. Your center can almost shoot like your point guard. You know what I mean? They can space the floor. And as Bryan mentioned, Milwaukee and Cleveland, the 2 and 3 teams in the East, they have so many problems hanging above their heads. I don't know if they're going to get it figured out come playoff time.
No, I feel completely confident that the Celtics are going to win. The number 1 seed, like we know, is locked up. So all they really have to focus on is being healthy. And kind of towards the end of the season, if I was them, I would take my foot off this gas some. Maybe not rest guys, maybe some older guys like Al Horford or something. Porzingis, he's pretty injury prone. Let them guys rest their bodies up. And it doesn't really matter what you win the conference by. Win the conference, lock up the 1 seed, and when the playoffs come, cook. And I really think that all of this doubt around the Celtics, it comes down to one thing, and it's, can Jason Tatum cook in the playoffs? Because in the playoffs, in basketball, what it really comes down to, at the end of the game, when there's a minute or 2 left, can the dude on your team make a tough and 1 layup or hit a step back 3? And I think that Jason Tatum can do that at a high level. Last year, he had the most points ever in Game 7. Like, what more do you want him to do? Like, what more do you want him to do? He scored 50 points in the Game 7 when his team needed it the most. I don't really do this, but I'm waving my Jason Tatum flag right now so high. I would pick Jason Tatum over a tremendous amount of players that a lot of people like.
And the crazy thing is I agree with you that they can give some of these players a rest. I don't know if you necessarily want to maybe throw the rhythm off per se, but Porzingis is dealing with an injury right now, and they still won as much as they did against Golden State, 140-88 with Porzingis out. That's insane. Tatum, Brown, like that duo is nasty. They combined for 41 points in the first half against Golden State. Those two did. Brown's ability, and he's one of the worst on the team, one of the worst statistically spot up 3-point shooters, and he's still at like 36%. So you have shooters all around. Tatum and Brown, this duo is worth the money. I just don't think anyone can stop them.
I agree.
And
For sure in the East. For sure in the East. The West, I mean, the West is tough. There's a lot more teams.
Yeah.
But there's no way they shouldn't have just a clear path to the finals, like Ty said.
If Embiid gets healthy, though, Embiid is a problem. If Embiid is fully healthy in the playoff series, there's nothing stopping him from averaging 30 points, 12 rebounds, and like 8 assists every single game.
And and the thing is too, though, yes, you're right, and I'm not downplaying Embiid's ability because he's really, really good, one of the best centers ever. But the Celtics have people to throw at Embiid. You know what I mean? Like the Celtics can match.
I didn't see Embiid do some. Embiid is one of them ones for real, though.
No, okay, I'm saying they have people to throw to at least slow him down a little bit. Like the Celtics, I feel like can match up with almost any team. Where OKC, which we'll get to in a second, they can't match up as well with some of the bigger sized teams where the Celtics can match up with anyone.
Yeah, Celtics, they are a good team. Like I'm not obviously I was just waving my flag for Celtics, but Embiid is the only person, or Giannis. If Giannis or Embiid can have a legacy series, which either of them can do at any time, I mean that's the only thing that's going to stop. It won't be a team victory that gets you there. It's going to be your player is the best in the world right now, and he's hooping at that level. And that's why you beat the Celtics. It's not going to be because Bobby Portis hit a clutch three. It might win you a game, but like you're going to need like Giannis or Embiid to go for 45 points in a triple double. You win Game 7 in Boston.
And like I said, there's just so many unknowns with Milwaukee. I don't know if the Knicks, right? They're not ready for this yet.
They're too hurt. Their teams,
they keep getting hurt.
Like Erik, Bryan,
like got hurt yesterday.
Yeah, is there anyone? Is there anyone out of the East that could disrupt, or does it have to be the 76ers with a healthy Embiid?
I mean, I think it's, like Ty said, it's because the Sixers, I mean, like you said too, the Bucks are very capable of that, but will that happen? Will the coaching hold them back, or, will somebody just not show up in the big moment? But, like, outside of those teams, nobody else in the East really has any experience. Maybe the Heat, but you never know with the Heat. They always like the 8 seed and somehow just go on a run. So maybe they do it again, but
that's what I was about to say.
But who knows? So
yeah, and like we said, we don't want injuries or anything to happen to anyone, but that also plays a factor in
somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Like it's sports.
It is, and whether that's on your team or not. Erik, I know Bryan kind of stole your thunder there, but anything else you wanted to add on anyone that could maybe steal a game or a series from them?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I doubt anyone expected the Heat to, let alone beat the Celtics and then make it and then go to the final. And if Embiid comes back for sure, because I mean Kristaps is 7-3, but Embiid's 7-1 and a lot more filled out. So
Embiid got that bag on him too.
Yeah, and that. So.
Yes, but Porzingis could still at least somewhat match up and slow him down better than most teams would have.
No, it's fine. Yeah. It is. Embiid is.
I think you
remember what Embiid was doing before he got hurt. I think he's really the MVP.
It's like Iguodala and LeBron, man. He was at, did he?
Yeah.
Did he stop him? No, not by any means. Did he kind of slow him down at that point in LeBron's career? A little bit.
I think just like purely like size matchups, maybe not for the guard aspect, but big man.
Yeah.
The Cavs will have a great matchup against any of the elite big men in the East because they have Mobley and Allen. They're both 7-footers. Not that they're I think Mobley's more elite than Jared Allen defensively, but like not like they're like cream of the crop, whatever defensive players.
Yeah, but still,
they're a big target to get around if you're trying to finish at the rim.
Well, especially if one of them gets in foul trouble, just throw the other one in there.
Other one in, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, I right now, I mean, I don't think anyone is better than the Celtics in the East. I don't want to skip over this, so if you guys have something else you want to bring up about the Celtics or the East, please throw it out.
I'll stick my flag in this again. Jason Tatum is, I think that, I sent a meme to the group chat earlier. I think it was yesterday with, it was Jason Tatum is basically the Brock Purdy to this Celtics 49ers team, which I think Jason Tatum, he's got so good so early that like, I think that we very much underrate how good he is and are very numb to it. And I think that a lot of other players
are
getting a lot of more praise than they deserve. Like, I'm just going to say it now. Like, I understand Shea is good and he's having this great year, but
Don't
I feel like I feel like
say it,
what are you gonna
he's
say,
the most
dude?
glazed
What are you
player
gonna say,
in the
man?
NBA right now. He's the
Don't
most
say it,
glazed
Ty.
player in the NBA
Dude,
now. But for
you know
what?
what?
For what?
You know what?
Jason Tatum in the Eastern Conference
He's
Finals
doing
his second year. He made his Eastern Conference Finals his second year, and he's been to the finals. And people are just like, all right, whatever, man. Like you're just on a good team. Duh, I'm on a good team because I'm the best player on the team. That's why the team is good because I'm the best player.
Yeah, but Shea is literally among they're the youngest team. Like what he has literally hardly anyone with experience. And what they're doing and him having to be the face and the leader of that says something. Now that doesn't take away from Tatum or anything. I agree that Tatum is not not I wouldn't say he's not respected enough, but there is a sense that I think we're kind of numb to what he can do. But I don't think you could take anything away from Shea and what he's been doing right now.
Has he ever dropped 50 points in a game 7? No, he hasn't. He has not ever did that. He hasn't even
been in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Like
there's also I mean,
you always tell
yes,
me about regular season stats. These are just regular season stats I'm seeing.
Yes, and you have that 50-point game 7 that you can hang over a lot of people's heads, but there's always been questions too is how well Tatum does handle 7-game series. He's had some series where he has not played very well, and so. But like I said, he has been in the finals. I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying that has been. I think that was more earlier on, but that was a topic and has been brought up a few times. His ability to handle 7-game series. If we're ready, let's jump into OKC. I think we got a nice transition going. And let's just start off. Erik, I'll start with you. Are the Thunder a legitimate threat, as in they could get to the finals, or at least win I guess then they would win the West, but at least get to the Western Conference Finals? Are they a legitimate threat in that instance?
I don't believe so. I think that their team is too reliant on SGA to the point where if the playoffs started now, they're currently the 1 seed, so they would have a bye. Their first round, let's say they go up 2-0, SGA gets hurt, like let's say the beginning of game 3, they're losing that series 4-2. There's no way they can win. I don't think that SGA can be either hurt or just have an off night and anyone else pick up the slack and do it. Like Chet's good, but I don't think he's like a run through him kind of guy, or at least right now.
Yep.
But I don't think so.
Bryan, are they a legitimate threat in that instance of at least making it to their conference finals?
No, I don't think so either, because looking at the standings right now, the teams that they would play would be either Phoenix, Dallas, Golden State, or the Lakers right now. Okay,
all fine.
And all it takes is one of those guys to get. All they need to do is get in. Like the experience is there for the teams. You have LeBron, you have Curry, you have KD, you have all of them. Okay, and I just think that right there itself is not a good look for the not for the Timberwolves, for the Thunder. Excuse me. So the teams that they would have to play, I think they would honestly there would be a big chance for them to get upset in the first round, which would be honestly just not good for their year. I mean, you win the first seed and you lose in the first round. But I mean, that's how it goes. If you play a good team who has more experience than you and has been here before and they know how to handle these types of high pressure games, then, can't do a whole lot about that.
Especially when it, like I mentioned in the last podcast, especially when it could go up to 7 games. Game plans change. It's the same team. It's back-to-back nights. It's a different feel than a regular season. And I know they have back-to-backs and stuff during the regular season. I'm just saying it's more frequent and it's higher pressure games.
Yeah.
The games are more intense.
Exactly. And so having that experience goes a long ways, especially the further you go on. Tyrone, I'm kind of surprised. We had 2 people, the team that's atop of the West. I think they got like 14 losses,
18.
And you guys 18. You guys are saying that they can't make it that far. Tyrone, do you think they can at least make it to the Western Conference Finals?
No, I don't. I mean, a lot of times, I think basketball really comes. I think sports in general comes down to which team has the best player on the floor. And as Bryan just said, on all those matchups, unless you think SGA is better than KD, Steph, LeBron, Luka, like right now, like I got some stats about SGA right here that are pretty interesting. So in 2007, 2008, that's when Kobe won his MVP. This year, SGA is averaging 4 more points than Kobe did, 1 more assist, 1 more steal. He shoots better from the 2 and the 3, and he has a better shared win percentage. So basically, he's playing at Kobe's MVP level. And I extremely doubt he's going to play at a Kobe MVP level in the playoffs for 7 games against the same opponent. He's not going to do that. Like, I don't know if this is me just being a big hater. Like, he's having a great year. But, like, I highly doubt he's going to come in there and fry with, like, the dude that's not as good as Wemby as his sidekick.
I think it's so hard for me because, and I have to agree with you guys, I think it's more their youth. And I think that, and like I said, it's the experience that they don't have that. I think that's going to come back and eventually hurt them. But then again, they were on the road at the Suns. You just said KD, okay, well, Shea's not better than KD, this and that, and I get it. We haven't seen the big 3 of the Suns play hardly at all together, but whatever. This is who they put on the floor. And not only, yes, I get it, that the Thunder had a 24-point lead with 24 left in the third. Let's praise them for that. Then they lose it, right? Then they allow the Suns to go on a 30-point swing. Now we see that the Thunder are human. We're starting to see that youth. They do make mistakes. They pressure and that momentum can swing really fast. But the thing is, they ended up winning the game. They held their own. They did not fold. They proved that they can, and they were on the road. They weren't at home. They didn't have their home crowd behind their back, giving them that momentum. So there's something to say about that. I just don't think we can necessarily gloss over that fact. And like you said, when it comes to playoffs, sure, some of these players may turn it on more than what they're doing in the regular season. But that has to say something to you guys, right? That not only the fact that they could build a 24-point lead, but also can hold on to it when things went bad.
I mean, it matters to me a little bit, but playoffs it is hit different. It is hit different.
I think they have an okay chance at making it to the Western Conference Finals. But then by that point, they're going to be playing, by nature, the other best team of the West. And I don't think that's them.
Okay, no, I'm glad you're bringing this up.
If it's Denver, no chance. They're not
really
getting fried. Absolutely,
100%.
They might lose in 4 games.
Okay, you ready for this?
Maybe.
I'm glad you brought that up. They're 3-1 against Denver this year. 3-1.
They're
Nuggets 3. That's 4 games.
The Nuggets are in don't care mode.
No, and I get that. I get that, and I get it. And it's not back to back. It's not you're playing the same team. I'm just saying, and I agree with you guys. I think at the end of the day, Denver would win a 7-game series. But and again, this is what I'm saying. This team's so hard to figure out. We can't just gloss over that either. We can't gloss over the fact that they're 3-1 against Denver this year. We can't gloss over the fact that they can build 24-point leads on the road.
The Raiders beat the Chiefs in the regular season. I mean,
but also
this beat us without completing a pass either in the second half, which is just atrocious. So but we don't have to get into that. But hey, we won the Super Bowl, so who cares?
Yeah.
Also touching on this is really, really late, but kind of going back to my Celtics contrast to where last the MLB playoffs, like, the most recent one, 5 best teams with the best record, they were 1-12 after the first 2 games of their respective series.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Just saying my point of the best record just kind of has just like a regression when it comes to playoffs. It just always works out that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
continue. Sorry.
No, and I agree, Eric. Like, I think what we mentioned earlier, just the fact that you win so much that when it comes time with the pressure on it's harder to win, and then you start seeing teams crumble a little bit. I think the true test here for the Thunder, and we can really see what they're about. It starts March 24th. All right, I want you guys to get to your calendars after this and put a big circle. All right, here's their lineup. Well, here's the lineup. It's a lineup, but it begins on March 24th.
Okay.
Right, you start off with the Bucks, and you got the Pelicans. Hey, Pelicans now they're a little scary. Rockets, Suns. Well, Knicks, 76ers, and then the Celtics in that order.
Is that to close out the year, or is that just
it's very close.
They have like 7
close.
games after that, 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yep. So that's in my eyes when the true test starts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
that's a tough stretch.
They just beat the Suns at home, and now they're playing them in OKC.
Yep.
On your stretch that you were saying.
Yep. Third, I mean, they're third in like I said, time of this recording, third in the Thunder, third in offensive rating, fourth in defensive rating. So your top 5 in each, respected category. This team's weird. Such a weird team.
These are one of the teams that remind me in the NBA. Teams like this, like they come along, not every so often or every year, but like every couple of years. This team is better than this team, but like this reminds me of those Atlanta Hawk teams that LeBron. Buzz over. Just like, yeah, they're good. They have multiple All-Stars. They have Jeff Teague, Al Horford, Paul Millsap, Kyle. But no, it doesn't matter. Like when you go up and lace up against these dudes, you're gonna get fried. Like,
this is a genuine question. Were they ever a top 1 or 2 seed?
They were the 1 seed one year, and they had 4 All-Stars. People were literally saying they're about to beat Bron, and Bron ran through those dudes.
No, and I agree, Ty, but I think we see that in short spurts, and I think it's more towards the beginning of the year that we see teams do that. The Thunder have carried this on all year. That's what I'm saying. There's some longevity to this. No, I'm not saying they're going to get to the finals. I don't think they will. That's just something to be said, and especially when you're top 5 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. And we haven't even talked about Chet that much. I mean,
I just think
17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks a game, 54% from the field. And I was talking about, Porzingis, your center, being able to, or your big man, being able to shoot like your point guard. Chet's 38% from the 3-point. He spreads the floor as well. Like, this guy can shoot like a guard as well. It's crazy. Like, this team is
it is a good team, but like I truly, honestly believe in the playoffs it hits different. I'm counting on the guys that I know. Like if they play the Clippers, I would trust Kawhi, PG, and James Harden to get the job done. Like I would just know.
Would you?
Yes.
I
would take the Clippers in 6. Yes.
We don't.
I think
I know what the Clippers are doing. But we know
if they're the higher seed. I think like the teams like the Clippers might be favored in that series if they actually played. Like I would highly. I don't see why not them being in the playoffs
to win some good money
in the playoffs. I would bet hard earned USD on that. I might bet a whole paycheck on that.
You're gonna bet on Harden in the playoffs? You're stupid, man. You're
I'm
stupid.
betting on Kawhi Leonard in playoffs. What do you? They have to go through some, especially in the West. You have to go through some legends. You're not. They can't just beat like regular teams. Like the only team that is like good that doesn't really have any legends, I guess, would be like the Timberwolves. And I would still the Kings, but like every other team, you're not playing against you're playing against some guys who have literally been there and done that before and played at the highest level of any athlete can play it.
I want to point this out because like obviously SGA has the hype for the MVP and stuff because he's second in points per game behind Luka.
Yep.
These are all defensive stats. Okay. He is second in opponent field goal percentage. All positions. Gobert's third. Total steals. Gotcha. He is first at 55. The second is 38. And I don't know how Scotty Barnes is on there. Deflections a game, he is first at 3.9 deflections a game. Jokic and Matisse Thybulle, who is a pretty much only defensive player. And then loose balls and contested threes a game, he's first in both of those.
Wow.
I mean, I don't want to come off like
second in points per game.
Yep.
The Thunder.
That's what I'm saying. Luka and him are at the top 3 best players right now. Him and Luka are both at the top. Yes, they are right now. Right now.
You're ridiculous.
Jokic is easily still the best player in the league.
Who?
Jokic. He's the best player. Oh. What does he did not to become not the best player?
So that can't be them 3. Jokic, Luka, and SGA.
And Embiid when he's healthy. And I'm taking Giannis and Jokic. Yeah, right now.
I'm not.
Right now.
No, I'm not.
Right now.
No, man.
Joel Embiid.
Wait, you said Embiid.
Embiid over Shea.
You said Embiid, Giannis, and who? Jokic?
Yeah, they're the best three in the
So
world.
you're going all big men. You don't have a guard in your top three.
Look at the past MVPs. Look at the past MVPs. They're literally down. Do you not remember what Joel Embiid was doing? Like, he was going stupid, going crazy.
Who's leading? Well, I know Embiid's out with injury. Okay, so this doesn't go with him. But I'm just saying, it's a scoring league, and look who is at the top of the scoring. Now, I know points aren't everything. I know Luka's defense brings him down a little bit, but these two are scoring at really high levels right now, and it's unbelievable.
Hey,
you can bring up Embiid had 60 points, and I'm sure if he was still playing, he would be probably the leader or up there with those guys. But these guys are at least consistently doing it. And they're getting tripled.
No, I don't hear that.
Luka had three straight triple doubles.
Because when Russell Westbrook and James Harden are doing this, people are calling them stat padding ball hogs. But when Shea and Luka do it, they have aura and they're cool and they're offensive gurus. No, why? Like a couple years ago, people literally called what they're doing they're stat padding. Oh, like no, but now it's like there's these. No, I just think that it's the same thing, and they're not. When the playoffs come and they don't win, I'm going to be like, oh, that triple-double was pointless, Luka, because you didn't do nothing with it.
I still can't believe you said that you would bet your money on Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Paul George.
Those are Hall of Fame basketball players. All Hall of Famers. Nobody on the
look at what they do in the playoffs, man. You get three of those guys together.
Nobody on the Clippers. Their entire basketball legacy doesn't even compare to James Harden's career, and that's on my life. They haven't even accomplished anything close to his entire career.
Dude,
Will Embiid did score 70, by the way, Ty. I just looked it up.
He scored 70 points this year.
Yeah, and he did it like 2 months ago.
If we want to talk about people that are doing that, let's talk about Booker, because that
guy. I told you it wasn't true.
No, I know, but
it's true. I didn't think it was that high.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, if we're bringing up this, like, oh, this guy could put 50 a night, 60 a night, well, Booker can do that.
3 Hall of Famers with 2 rings combined. All right, I'm just making sure.
I'm just like looking at. That's funny. Looking at the West, could the Clippers beat the Timberwolves? Can they beat the Nuggets?
No, the Nuggets are they're in a different.
I'm not betting on Jokic.
It's hard to bet against Jokic.
Excuse me.
Okay. That's what I thought you meant. But
they're just a well-oiled machine.
Is Chet your better rookie of a year choice than Victor Wembanyama?
That's silly stuff. No. Victor Wembanyama he's better.
That's a different discussion, Brian.
He's one of the best defenders in the league.
Bro?
He's not a rookie.
Oh,
that's kind of true too, as well.
But I mean, that's a different discussion for sure. But what'd you say there?
You see what Wemby did to the Thunder? Yeah, you see what he did a couple days ago. But Wemby is on another level.
Chet's on the winning team, man.
No, you
put
Wemby on the Thunder, and that's a finals team right there. That's a finals team.
That would be nasty.
I think Wemby. Let me look up his last 10 games. Wemby he's been
killing it.
It kind of sucks they're last in the West, though, huh?
It's okay. They're going to kick up a Trae Young trade in the offseason.
Yeah, no.
Poor guy doesn't have anybody on him.
Yeah.
Facts. Wemby's in a different. That's. Like I was saying earlier, outside of like all these other young guys, besides like Wemby, JT is up there with every single one of those dudes.
Yeah.
Who?
It's gonna be a fun playoffs because, like I said, I don't know how I feel about this Thunder team.
They're going to go out sad. Why would they? You think they're going to walk through legends?
You think
they're going to walk through legends?
They're not losing first round. I don't think they're losing.
I don't think they're
unless gets hurt or something happens.
So, okay. How?
If they get, well, yeah.
So, I think the thing that's going to mess them up is that, like, it's cool and stuff when you are a underdog and, like, oh, yeah, it's fun. But when you have expectations and people expect you to win, it gets a little different. It's like you expect them to win. Oh, man, they're supposed to win. Like, that hit everybody in the stadium knows, everybody in the arena knows, the other team knows, like, oh, we're supposed to win. Like, it's all fun and games. Like, yeah, it's new, it's cool and stuff now, but like, it's gonna hit different when like you actually have to like, okay, we have to beat LeBron James 4 times to go to the next round.
I mean, hey, expectations are one of the leading causes of depression, man. Think about it. You get so excited and then you just get let down. But okay, also I'm getting deep. Hey man, you know how many times?
Crazy.
You know how many times I've hyped up Fran McCaffrey in Iowa basketball just to
You
get
need to leave that dark
disappointed
room.
with
You gotta get out of the dark room, Calvin.
with Luka
I know.
Garza, with the Murrays, with Bohannon. You know, expectations
Oh
were
my
Final
God.
Fours.
And
Oh
you lost to
man,
the Richmond
sad.
Spiders.
And then I went right to
The
bed, man.
Richmond
Ty,
Spiders.
you were there for that, but also too, we're talking like, oh, you know, can he go through LeBron in 4 games, which I don't think that's going to be a challenge. Sure, if that's what you believe, but what I'm saying is, the Lakers got to worry about the play-in, man. Why, you know what I mean? Like, why are we worried about a play-in team and a team that's one number? Okay.
The Lakers
Yeah,
played
what
the
are we-
tonight, and I got my
I
hard
know.
on USD on the Lakers,
I know
giving them the work.
I know that's a
Tough
bad
right
thing.
now after the first quarter, 25
Yeah.
25.
Here's the thing.
So here's the thing. Well, before you get to that, Eric, save
Okay.
your thought, because I will say maybe we should have saved this topic for another day, but for schedule purposes, we had to do it on this night, So yes, whatever the outcome is at the end, hopefully our statements still ring true. But go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to say that these are the 7 through 10 seeds in the West currently.
Okay.
The Suns, I think OKC can handle them. The Mavs.
Well, it depends on.
I think you
depends on
Kevin Durant, man.
It depends on if they all play together. Beal.
They don't even need Bill.
All right,
they don't even need Bill.
The Suns are my Cowboys in the NBA. They always just lose. Like last year, they just disappeared. Anyways,
and Ty, you're saying underestimating KD. What has he done without Steph?
They lost to the Nuggets.
Well,
They lost to the Nuggets. They lost to the champs last year. Where do you want?
I guess he just.
They lost.
I guess he just had too. He had too big of a foot. Go on, Eric.
the Mavs might be trouble, but I mean, if they can contain Luka and or Kyrie, I think they'll be okay.
If Kyrie,
that'd be even. I like to see that. They're both mid teams.
Be a good matchup.
Yeah.
No, I think Luka's gonna do his job. It's can Kyrie. Well, what does Kyrie want to do in the play? No, I'm not. I like Kyrie. I like Kyrie, and he's playing great this year. What are you trying to hate on me for, man? What? I didn't.
You can't depend. We're talking about the playoffs. The playoff. Kyrie's. They're just not going to win, but Kyrie's going to do his job. He might outscore Luka.
I'm just saying. I can always trust on Luka, and I it's been I want to see
in the playoffs. Can you trust Kyrie? Yes or no?
I think so.
I can trust Kyrie in my life in the playoffs. Actually, in my life.
No, I'm just saying. You don't want Kyrie. He's been playing so well this season.
He's gonna keep doing
when
it.
he is playing.
What is Kyrie ever disappointed?
Okay, but that's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's a large part of the success.
I'm not taking. I can't take no Kyrie disrespect.
I mean,
none.
No, I'm not
0.
because of anything.
He's on my no disrespect list.
Kyrie saved LeBron's legacy. We could go down that route if we want. Get him another
ridiculous. Saving is just. I'm not taking the bait. Saving is crazy.
No, I'm just saying if the Mavs want to go far or have a great chance, Kyrie is a major point in that.
They need to both average.
Who else? That's true.
Now that we kind of got a little bit deeper into the Mavs, I was watching this YouTube video the other day, and so I think the best, if I'm not mistaken, the best offensive rating right now is the Celtics at 121. You said that earlier.
Yep.
With Luka and Kyrie both on the floor, the Mavericks offensive rating is 123. With Luka by himself, Kyrie off, they're 119, so they're right there with the Celtics. With Kyrie on and Luka off, it's their best at 124. And then this is the scary part. When it drops off to none of them on, it's 103 offensive rating.
Yeah. Ooh. So you get wow.
Oh,
it's pretty.
I have a random a very, very random stat. I've seen that all the the offensive ratings now, like in 2016 when the Warriors won their ring, or not won, they lost in their greatest team, 72 wins. That offensive rating would have been 20th in the league this year.
Yeah, no, I saw that same stat, which is actually insane. Yeah,
that's absurd.
Yeah. That's very absurd. That's what I'm saying. These teams are, but that's what I'm saying, Ty. It's like the league's like this now, and you don't have a guard in your top 3. That's crazy.
No,
man.
why would I? The thing is that I
don't know.
Giannis and Embiid, especially Jokic a little bit too. They're also the best defender on the floor too. Like they're giving you 30, they're getting 10 boards. and he's blocking shots and being big. And Embiid can shoot threes. Embiid and Jokic what can Embiid and Jokic not do on the basketball court?
No,
nothing.
Literally, they could do every single thing. They could pass it. They could literally
some stuff when it comes to quickness, but that's
why would you need to be quick?
I'm just but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So you had Lakers. Who else was there?
It would be the Warriors at the 9. I don't think.
Hey, hold on, y'all got me on.
They've been playing well. I mean, obviously they had this really bad game against the Celtics, but they had they were on like a 6-game winning streak before that. It's Curry, man, and it's Steve Kerr, and they're always a sleeper.
You forgot the bully, the enforcer, the real good of that team, Mr. Get Something Done. For real, he's standing on business. Every practice, every game, every podcast. He's not playing. Let them lose first.
Every podcast.
I think the Warriors. I mean, the Lakers just have like on paper, it's like LeBron and AD. It's like
it's
especially
pretty. Well, if those guys are role players, get to
Reeves can cook some.
D'Lo can shoot. That's another team that can shoot. They're just not always consistent when it comes to. And I mean by that is high scoring, but.
I think in the Bron turned it on in the playoffs though, because the Lakers went to the Western Conference Finals last year. They went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Like that's not like I know they're like a low seed now. That's not like for real playing LeBron James. Like this is not like a crazy thing to say. Playing LeBron James in the playoff, that is like I don't think that's something you want to do. Like I would not choose for that to be because LeBron is literally going to play better in the playoffs. Play better, like literally his game right here. He's finna go. Right here. Don't let it be a game winner on the line. He's making it.
Well, I mean, we saw what, if AD stays healthy and whatnot, and we saw what they did in the bubble. Obviously, different different scenario and stuff, but
if the Lakers and the Thunders played in the playoffs, to me, I think the Lakers would have the 2 best players on the court. The 2 best players, not one. They would have the Thunder. They would have the 2 best players on the court, LeBron and AD.
Like, are you saying from like a whole career type of thing?
No,
or
I'm saying playing
he's not
their best ability. They are better. Yeah, Brian knows what I'm saying.
He's not. He'll die with LeBron love for the rest of his life.
I'm not saying LeBron. I'm saying AD. He's obviously
good. That's Anthony Davis. Like that's Anthony Davis, man. I think y'all be forgetting, man. Y'all be forgetting.
And I get it because I'm the one bringing up the youth and how that might come back and bite the Thunder in the ass. But it's crazy to me that you guys are giving so much praise to a team that's gonna have to play in the play-in or is trying to get out of the play-in. We have the number 1 overall seed in that whole conference.
Hey, with the Chiefs the number 1 overall seed? No, it doesn't matter because
they also had the greatest. I guess, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter.
The 49ers were the 1 seed, and last year the Eagles and the Chiefs were both 1 seeds, and they made it to the Super Bowl.
But that's completely different sport. But
I mean, technically, if we want to, no one thought that the Thunder would get here anyway. So, maybe they're not the true 1 seed, so maybe they can't be that team. You know what I mean? But
whatever. They're a half game ahead of the Timberwolves and 1 game ahead of the Nuggets.
That's another.
Those 3 are right there. Like you said, are they the true number 1?
Hey, it's
I mean, by the record, yes, but
as of right now, technically, yeah. But they're a half game ahead of the Nuggets, and they're tied with the Timberwolves.
So if they lose tonight, they would go to tied.
They'll probably give it to the Wolves, the T-Wolves.
Can the T-Wolves make it to the Western Conference Finals? I feel like
for sure. They got one of them ones on the team. Ant is just as good as Shea. Just as good. I might take Ant over Shea for real. Ty. I'm being for real though.
I think you're right in the sense they're pretty close, but I think Shea's
I'll give the Shea is having a better. Shea is having a better year.
Shea's having a better year. Shea is having a better year.
I will buy my Anthony Edwards stock.
I don't know though, dude.
Price right now.
The way that
I don't think it's low. Ty, you say these outrageous things and we combat it, and then you say that you're just like, we don't understand. But you're saying that Anthony Edwards is better than SGA right now, Ty.
Now I would
not right now.
Give me
not at this very
he
moment.
might not be better, but give me Anthony Edwards. Give him to me. Over shit.
Like if you wanted to build
He was late to the game today, Ty. He was late to his NBA game today.
Hey, he has something to do. Get your mind right.
Okay.
Carlton Towns, slow it down.
You have like 3 hours before the game starts to get your mind right and get everything taken care of. He still found a way to show up late.
I would take the Shea, better player than Anthony Edwards right now. I would also take the Timberwolves over the Clippers. I think that I don't think that who's this Thunder's second best player?
Chet, probably.
Chet. So obviously a lot of teams have every team in the playoff probably has a superstar elite player. What a lot of times what it comes down to is how good is your second or third best player. Chet is not compared to the other second best players on all these other teams. He's better than Karl-Anthony Towns. No, I wouldn't even say they're close. Particularly, Karl-Anthony Towns is a level, maybe 2 levels above Chet. If you go down the list, the second best is Chet better than Sabonis? Probably not. Probably not. Like, I think eventually, like Erik was saying in the beginning, like Shea is not good enough to do it all on his own. Only one person can do that. We know who that is. At some point, somebody is going to have to step up. Will Chet have a 35-point playoff game? I would not bet my money on that.
I think a lot of it too is, Lou Dort. He can play really good defense. He can shoot well when he needs to. Yeah, it's can the role players step up a little bit more? And that's going to be the big thing. I think they get to the second round. And you're gonna, like I said, we could trust Shea. I don't know if we can fully trust Chet yet. But
how can you trust somebody who has never really been in that moment though? That's a question mark.
That's what I'm saying. With nothing to go off of, at least this year, nothing to go off of, I just have to go off the regular season of this year, and I would say I could trust him right now. Now, we'll see.
You got to prove it to me.
Well, yeah, he's got to prove to everyone, but I just saying I don't have anything to go off. I just don't have anything to go off of right now.
He still has playoff proving to do for sure, but he's proved it that he's him right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to get at. He's proven that he's an elite player right now. But yes,
John Wall did it 1.2.
That's what I'm saying. We'll just have to see.
I'm not even like a Shea hater. I mean, I guess technically I am.
No, I'm not saying you are.
I think I might be on that
line.
Turning into one.
I just like he's the most overly glazed player in the league. I'm like, come on, I get it. They are man. Wait till Wemby gets a teammate. Wait till Wemby.
I was gonna say he's the number 1 team in the West. He's second in points. Erik read all those defensive stats off. Like, I think there's plenty of an argument here that they have been making that I think is just kind of going over your head.
It's just right past.
Yep. I get it. I understand. I guess it's think so. Appropriate glazing.
It's like it goes through a wall. It's just right through it.
I just don't think you see it.
I do. I like it. I get it. I get it.
But you said earlier, you would take the Timberwolves over the Clippers right now, but you wouldn't take the Clippers over the Thunder. You said that, right? I want to make sure. That's what I thought I heard.
I would take. Okay. I would take the. Actually, I think the Clippers are probably going to go to the Western Conference Finals.
All right, I'm
okay. You heard it here first.
Ready to wrap it up? Are you ready to wrap it up? I'm not listening to that.
In every single playoff series, besides against the Nuggets,
I'm not listening to that.
Kawhi Leonard would be the best player on the floor, right? And Paul George will probably
Kawhi.
It's Kawhi. It's Kawhi.
Go ahead.
It's Kawhi Leonard.
No, go ahead.
Like, have we not? Come on, we're gonna play with Kawhi's name. We're gonna play with Kawhi's name right now. Like, for real, this is Kawhi Leonard who has who's won a ring.
Also, the save.
Come on,
get ready.
And the Thunder or the Clippers' third best player is James Harden. That's a damn good third best player on your team. Third best player on your team.
Yeah, regular.
James Harden. No. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because don't say that. James Harden is one of them ones still. Actually, James Harden might play on one of the best teams I've ever seen that did not make the finals. When he took the Warriors to Game 7, that was an amazing feat.
Man, I wish if I knew we were getting to this topic, we'll bring it back up. I got some stats and how he did in some games that faced elimination, but
he's about to do that same thing. He's about to do that same
but
thing. Like you're
At
telling
least-
me out of
well,
all the players that you guys choose to hang your hat on, you think that in the playoffs, Shea is going to be the one that rises to the occasion?
I'm just, dude. No, we're
not saying that, Ty.
Dude,
What's
he's
your
the
argument?
best player. He's the he's the best player on the team. So if someone was going to, it would probably be him.
He just having a good little season. He just having a cool little season. That's it. He's having a good little season.
All right, we'll
That's
see.
about it.
I think we're all starting to get a little delusional. So I think we're gonna wrap up. Ty's getting a little.
No, when
delusional.
the Thunder leave the playoffs in the first or second round, I'll just be like, well, I knew this was gonna happen.
No, I agree. It might be the second round, Ty. They get out of the first round, and then I think that's that's where the youth starts really happening. And I agree. I don't think they get to their conference finals, but I also don't think they're a first round exit.
They could be.
So
okay,
I think it just comes down to matchup.
All right,
I mean, all does.
This kind of somewhat proves Ty's point that the Thunder are the first seed in the West, so that would put them at 2 in the league, just over the Bucks. They're 7th in NBA championship.
Literally, like, why would you bet
odds.
them to win that? Like, that's not like, come on now, Vegas knows. Put me in Vegas.
Yeah, but none of us. I don't think any of us are saying that they're they're gonna win the finals. We all said no earlier. I'm just like, you're saying a first round. I don't know if they're gonna be our first round exit.
I just don't want to talk about JV teams and this varsity team to talk about. Like, I get it. They'll be good next year when they develop, but let's talk about the players on varsity right now.
All right, hey, they're 3-1 against those varsity teams. So
in the
they're
jamboree
3-1 against the Nuggets, man.
in the jamboree. I want to see them play.
Whatever.
In the playoffs, it'd be different. This is the last thing I'll say. I always talk about legacy games, and legacy games are had in the playoffs, and they have to have a legacy game for something to change.
Hey, I said mark your calendars, March 24th. We'll come back after that little stretch they go on, and maybe we'll bring this topic back up, and we can maybe some opinions will change, maybe not. But that is episode 5 of For What It's Worth. Once again, joined by Erik, Bryan, and Tyrone. We appreciate you guys listening to us. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment too. Let us know, do you think that the Thunder are a legitimate threat in the Western Conference? Go ahead, leave a comment. If you're listening on Spotify, we also appreciate that. Go ahead, send it out to everyone you know. Leave us 5 stars. That always helps us. Before I stop recording, anything you guys want to say?
Hopefully, LeBron James and Lakers walk down Shea and the Thunder.
Erik, Bryan, anything to say?
Nope.
All
I
right.
hope everybody has a good week. That's
There
all
we
I gotta
go.
say.
All right.
That's what
Perfect.
That's an exclamation point.
All right. There we go.
Everybody
Well,
enjoys their spring breaks that are coming up and all that.
amen. Everyone stay safe, and until next time.
Yes, sir.